You guys will never believe this, but the one and only Rush Limbaugh shouted me out on his radio program. And he even called me a babe.
I have a tweet here by a young conservative woman named Kaitlin Bennett. You know, this program's inspired a lot of young conservatives over the years, and this babe may be one of them. Listen to this tweet. This is so hot. If you're a Democrat, you can get away with anything you want. You can sleep with a Chinese spy. You can masturbate in front of coworkers. That's Jeffrey Toobin. You can get millions of dollars from Ukraine. That's Hunter Biden. You can burn cities. That's Portland and Seattle. And you do all that without consequence. But if you're conservative, you can't even smile at a Native American. That would be Nick Sandman. Is that not a great tweet? Fabulous, fabulous tweet.
What an honor it is to have been mentioned by the man that helped so many of us get to where we are today. And it wouldn't have been possible without your guys' support. So thank you. What I wrote in that tweet that Rush Limbaugh read is so sadly true. And it's so true, in fact, that we had to cut out a part of the tweet for this video because YouTube would get mad at us if we left it in. While Democrats can get away with doing literally anything they want, conservatives like you and me can't even write simple tweets or make videos freely expressing our opinions about topics that aren't even controversial. If we don't submit to the left-wing thought police, we are kicked off of social media, we are fired from our jobs, and we are targeted by the same mob that burns down buildings and loots when they don't get their way. The left's thought policing has gotten so bad that we had to create an entire website just so I can speak freely. If you want to hear my full, uncensored thoughts about what I wrote in my tweet, head on over to libertyhangout.tv where we are having our biggest sale ever, but hurry, because the sale ends this Christmas. So why is it that conservatives are forced to live in fear and forced to make new websites just to have a voice, while the left is given free reign to do absolutely anything they want in this country? Do you guys remember when I started trending on Twitter after a mob started chasing me at the University of Central Florida just a few months ago?
Secure that building right there. Secure that one.
I never told my YouTube followers this, but when I tried getting my footage out on Twitter to show my side of the story, they flagged my tweets as sensitive content and hid the footage from my followers. The narrative had already been set, and Twitter themselves falsely labeled me as a conservative provocateur, and I had no way of defending the truth. But you know what was put in the trending tab alongside my name and not flagged as sensitive content? Tweets from Democrats threatening me and calling for my death. But Twitter definitely is not a publisher, is it? And this is the problem with our country. Democrats can do whatever they want, and there are never any consequences. The rules never apply to them. They only apply to you. Just a few days ago, Jack Posobiec from One American News tweeted out a video of Rand Paul from an election hearing and had his tweet flagged as misinformation. But when a liberal journalist from Vox tweeted out the exact same video, his tweet never got flagged. Like I said, rules never ever apply to Democrats. That's why Black Lives Matter can protest by the thousands, but you can't go to church. That's why Antifa can get away with burning down cities, but you get arrested for defending your life. That's why you can loot a business, but you can't open one up. And that's why liberals can tweet whatever violent threats against conservatives they want, but we aren't allowed to speak freely on the internet. The double standard has never been more obvious, and they don't care. They want power by whatever means necessary. And when you ask them to disavow the violence on their side, this is what they say. Will you guys disavow all of the burning and looting?
Black Lives Matter.
Will you disavow the burning and the looting?
Black Lives Matter.
Disavow the burning and the looting.
Black Lives Matter.
Disavow the murders of police officers.
Black Lives Matter.
You said you weren't part of that, but you won't disavow it.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Do you agree with Black Lives
BLM,
Matter?
burn, loot, murder. You can do that, but if you're a conservative, You can't even smile at a Native American. As frightening as this is, we shouldn't have to live in fear just because the left wants us to. The reason the left has gotten so radical is because they're afraid that the American people are done with their shenanigans. There are at least 74 million people in this country that think like you, which means there are 74 million people that don't support censorship, that don't support the riots, and don't support socialism. While it's easy to sit here and see censorship as a sign of our defeat, it's actually a sign of their desperation. It means that Donald Trump's presidency has been so wildly successful that the only way they can defeat him is by pretending we don't exist. But we do exist, and we're not going away, no matter how much they wish they could make us. This is why I urge you to support my work at patreon.com/KaitlinBennett to help me give you guys a voice and help me expose the left. Since the Democrats have gotten so radical and get away with anything, I need to bring security with me every time I film, which isn't cheap when I need 4 or 5 guys, by the way. Even just $5 a month will go a long way in helping me expose the left, and will even get you access to my private Facebook group. And as you know, I'm unfortunately having to self-censor a lot on YouTube, even in this video. To watch my full, uncensored opinions and uncut footage from our trips that can't make it to social media, sign up now at libertyhangout.tv, where we're having our biggest sale of the year. The left thinks that they have defeated us, but they're dead wrong to think that. The MAGA movement is only just beginning, and we're going to keep America great. Truth about these masks, but sometimes you're still forced to wear them. Go to shopfreedommask.com. It helps support my work. We have so many. This is the best seller for people who are forced to wear a mask but still want to send a message while they're being forced to. Shopfreedommask.com. Go to libertyhangout.tv right now to watch Kaitlin Bennett uncensored. Not only will you get to watch exclusive content from me, but you'll get to say you stood for the truth, you stood against radical leftism, and you stood up for America. When you visit libertyhangout.org/store, you are not only supporting the Liberty Hangout team, but you become part of the team. Visit right now and you can get exclusive t-shirts, hats, posters, and more that supports our work. But more importantly, supports our cause. When you purchase a shirt from the Liberty Hangout store, you become a symbol of freedom to those around you. Visit libertyhangout.org/store to get your merchandise today.